Good evening and welcome to my live podcast, How to Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm Bob Pace, I'm your host, and I warmly welcome you all. Uh, Tonight I'm on an hour early because there is a question answer tonight at 7 o'clock on Mr. Vincent Davis's podcast, which I'll be a part of at 7 o'clock. I was also partaking in a Zoom meeting with a new video software called OBS that I want to incorporate on StreamYard. And hopefully that it be recorded that I can see that during here. It's so important to be here for you guys. I thought about maybe I should have done an hour earlier or something. I'm going to miss that podcast live because Vincent's at 7, I'm at 6. I'm on the West Coast in Surf City, USA. I'm about 2 blocks from the beach, and I really know what you're going through with the child protection system. That's what I call CPS, the Agency of Social Services that deals with the protection of our children from neglect and abuse, and also provide social service needs to families that are in need, such as food, medical, clothing, shelter, educational. Those are the things that they can help you with because maybe you're going through rough times. And furthermore, if you are broken apart as a family, they're supposed to do family reunification. That is the whole purpose of CPS. They're not supposed to be taking your children. And lately they've been taking your children, whether you're in imminent danger or not, whether they are in imminent danger or not. They automatically take the child and traffic them into foster care and alienate them from you as parents. It's been proven that the best parents are the biological parents. And these biological parents are the ones that should be raising the kids. They are the best, the mother and father, to all my listeners out there. So I am early, and I welcome you all. One second, I gotta find my phone. Back again. I apologize for the interruption. I was trying to have my phone. Now, there are several ways to interact with this podcast. This is an interactive podcast, meaning you can be a part of this podcast. There's 4 ways. The first way is to be in the room, participating, listening, taking notes, using emojis. Thank you for the smiley faces, thumbs up, and the hearts and stuff. Right now, you just be a listener. Now, if you wanted to express something like a comment or you had a question about CPS, I'm going to put up how you can do so. If you notice on the screen, it says when typing in the comment or a question, make sure it pertains to CPS. This is what we're here talking about. We're talking about the child protection system. And please show me your name, your city, state, or country. And yes, I say country because we have people that that text from around the world. Last night, I had somebody from British Columbia, Canada, that was working with a Canadian, the First Nation. They, in North America, in the U.S., it's called the Native American Indian. In Canada, it's called the First Nation. And they have something that we have, the ICWA, the Indian Child Welfare Act. They have the National Indian Child Welfare Association that they have developed on the same lines. And I can talk more about what that's all about. But I really want to thank you all for coming to listen, because you're dealing with an agency that is out of control. That's out of control. So please be complete with your case, and make sure you tell what your family makeup is. What are the children? What are the allegations? How are the children taken from your home? And where are you at now on your case? Now, countrywide, I've had Bangladesh, New Delhi, India. I've had in Africa. I've had South Africa, the province on the west coast. I have Mozambique on the east coast, across from Madagascar. I have Rwanda at Central East Africa, Liberia at Northern Africa. Then over in Europe, I've had England, Scotland, Wales, and then I've had um, Denmark and Sweden. Across the pond, I've had Canada, both coasts. Then all the 50 states, including Washington, D.C., have either called in or texted in. That's over 500 some people since October 2023. And going further south, I've had Mexico. And then in South America, I've had Guyana on the coast there. Georgetown is the coastal town east of Venezuela, north of Brazil. And across the Pacific, I've had Australia, the land down under. So those are the countries that I've had that participated. Everybody from around the world is welcome, because this is a worldwide podcast. And you found me on Facebook via Fighting CPS, Bob Pace. And then I'm transmitting on YouTube using the StreamYard application. And I have a new program that I'm trying to integrate in with StreamYard called OBS. It's a new video organization that I can display things. I can put up charts. I can put a lot more and do a lot more. And it both works in both StreamYard and Zoom. So it's a new program, and it's going on right now. So hopefully I can watch it when it's being recorded and I can see it again there. Now, besides being in the room or making comments, you can also be a guest on our podcast. Now, to be a guest on our podcast, all you would do, and again, I put there on the screen, is email to our producer, our show producer. Her name is Grace, and she has worked very hard behind the scenes, helps me with my podcast, and will help you get on the podcast with a link to StreamYard. All you do is tell her what day and what time you want to be on the show. I have 14 show times, Monday through Sunday. I'm on in the morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and I'm on the evening, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Both are for 1 hour. There is an exception. Every Sunday I'm on at 8 because I have family and church on Sunday. And then next Friday, a week from this Friday, I'll have a football game, so I'll be on early at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock next Friday, a week from this Friday. That's the 6th of September. And then also, tonight, I'm on an hour early because at 7 o'clock tonight, we have a special question and answer with a professional attorney, Mr. Vincent W. Davis. And if you want to be a guest, you just email Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Just say I'm going to be in Bob's Wednesday morning show, or Bob's Tuesday evening show, or Saturday morning show, or Sunday evening show. You just tell her the time. She takes care of the rest, and she'll tell you how to be a guest. I can have up to 9 guests, including myself. That's 10 people on StreamYard. And furthermore, I love to have all of you. I've only had a max of 4, but I would like to try it where everybody can sit here and talk on the podcast, because we're here to help each other. I'm not a professional attorney. I am a family man who had been fighting CPS for almost 15 years. And it's sad, but they've been a thorn in my side. They have stolen my 3 younger children. I have 6 children, 3 older ones, 3 younger ones, 3 boys and 3 girls. And I'm very much a family man. And I learned from experience. So when I was in CPS, I was in 2010 when they started to lay people would call in and make false accusations. Unfortunately, I lost my job in 2010 at age 60. and I've been trying to get work and trying to take care of my family. But in the year 2015, they tricked me, used a policeman who forced me to open up my home and come into the home. What I mean by force, I said, I didn't know the rules. They should never have done what they did. They were looking. They were on a fishing expedition to find something wrong. They'd been to my home before, but they saw nothing. But apparently, they want to see it again. So, the last way to interact with podcasts is to call in to my show. That's the fourth way. Now, you can call in at 626-698-0990. And you've been connected to my phone. I use Vonage, which is an internet-based program, but it's directly to my phone line. And I'm only on during the show time. Some of you have asked me questions after show hours or want to talk to me. I cannot talk to you. I can only talk to you on show time, during the show time. And if you do, I will send you what the show times are. It's Monday through Sunday, and I've already gone over the hours there. But anyway, the phone is open. It's 626-698-0990. Now, there's another number on the screen, and that's my rule number one. That is how you're going to reach Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has over 35 years as a professional trial, family, juvenile dependency lawyer. That's a lot to say in one word, but he's the best. He can fight cases whether in Oklahoma or Northern California. He's out of Arcadia, but he is offering, I have an arrangement with him to have a consultation with Mr. Davis for $60 for 30 minutes. $60 for 30 minutes, and he'll talk to you about the strategies and how to navigate the child protection system. It's a horrible place, the child protection system. It's really, 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 really hard. And he is the best. He's fought CPS and gotten children back. He also has done civil lawsuits and got them back. And so I really encourage you all to listen, take notes, and ask questions. That's what we're going to learn in there. Now, I know that this is a different time, and so I'm going to check to see. Let me see here. As I was talking about Vincent Davis, it's the 888-888-6582 number, and I want to thank him for providing this forum for this podcast. He's very graciously allows me twice a day, 7 days a week, and I encourage you to call in to take that consultation. When you call in, make sure you tell him that Bob Pace sent you, and when you speak to Mr. Davis, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. That's 888-888-6582. So that's another number on the screen. So you got two numbers there. I'll leave that on. Also on the screen, you'll see at the bottom ticket, there's a website that you can look into. It's https://candly CANDLY.com/apps VWD/Bob Pace. And that will take you to his appointment calendar, and you can schedule a conference with him because he's the real deal. He's won civil lawsuits of millions of dollars, both in federal and in state courts. So he is really the real deal there. Now, I've already given you my first rule and why I say you need an attorney, because most of you in there will think your court-appointed attorney will suffice. I'm not saying don't use them, but be forewarned. Court-appointed attorneys have 30 or more clients. They are really loaded. They will not talk to you like a normal attorney away from the courtroom. You only see them when they're in court. They may talk to you a minute or two outside the courtroom, but you won't be in the courtroom. Also, having an attorney defend you that is appointed by the court, Social Service hopes you take that option because they can control those attorneys. You can't be in a courtroom. I was never allowed in the courtroom in California. I had to sit in the hallways. So that's a bad thing. Also, your children are court appointed. So they're all court appointed. And then you got the social service attorney and the judge. The judge is crooked. My whole case was terrible. I was beaten before I even started. It was sad. It was really sad. They are a bad agency. They're not transparent. They're not honest. They'll lead you down. They'll make you try to sign a plan. Don't sign a plan because promises that you get your children. Also, they will um, uh, try to take your children because their goal is to feed the mouth that they generate over $1 trillion a year. $1 trillion, not billion, not million, $1 trillion a year. They make money. That's the whole purpose of CPS now. They don't care about families, they don't care about reunification, and they always think your child's in imminent danger. My three children, when they were taken, they were at school. Now you tell me how imminent danger is at school. That was really uncalled. And I was a fool. I have some other rules to tell you, but I was a fool there. I was definitely a fool there. So I'm open for questions or comments. I can talk about a lot of things. I have over 50 tabs open. We can talk about the ICWA. We can talk about the 388 motion or the 160 JV motion, or we can talk about ombudspersons or civil rights coordinators or, drug tests or safety plans. You name it, I will talk about it. Also, if you have something that hasn't been talked about, I'll gladly, help you all out there. Again, I'm open to everybody around the world. All you have to do is text me a comment or call my phone number. And that is my phone number again is 626 698 0990. That's my phone number. So I'm talking a little bit about my case. I'm talking in there. I'm hoping to see more people. I know that we're on a different time, and I'm hoping to see a lot more here. Let me see. Some people did text in. Okay. There's someone that wanted to ask a question. And they have a case tomorrow, and a lot of us wait to the last minute, and it's the way our nature of the beast is, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So if you have no questions, I can start talking a little bit about what you expect from social workers and what kind of individuals these social workers are. They're definitely not your friend. They're definitely not your friend. Um, so if you're looking at a social worker, wait, there's a comment that just came in here. Let me see. I have 3 comments. Hi, Faye. Glad to have you. Faye is from Richmond, Kentucky. She's a single mom. She's trying to get custody of her 23-year-old son. She had a tragic time with her other child. She had to make a choice, and she had no choice but to give up her daughter at 5 years of age. And so she's been through a lot. She was abused when she was in foster care as a small child 5 times. Because her mom didn't turn out to be the mom that should be. She loves her mom though, but her mom's passed away. Faye says, Faye says, uh, hello everybody. Hope you're having a blessed evening. Well, thank you, Faye. That's very thankful that you would join me. She's been on my show almost all the time. Now, I have a question here from a piece of poo. I would prefer if you have a better name than a piece of poo. Maybe you can call yourself Betty, Jim, Mary, whatever it is. But the question that they put up there is does your criminal case affect your juvenile case when they're deciding if we would accept our plea deal? We don't know if I'll interfere with us getting our children back. Don't make plea deals. I did one and it was awful. I never recommend any kind of plea deal. If you're innocent, so you're not guilty. But criminal matters will come first before the CPS matters. The CPS matters, they'll stall and they'll wait till your criminal matters gets done. So they will interfere, the criminal matter will interfere with your children getting back. And it's sad. Mine took 3 years and it took them for a year of me every day showing them a court. Finally, they said, well, we'll make a deal with you. We'll drop these charges and get your wife out of the picture. But what they did is they made my life miserable. I should never think because I wasn't guilty of anything. I was thinking if I made a plea deal, may this all go away and we get our children back. And that's wrong. You can't make deals with the devil. Child Protection Service is the devil. I'm sorry to tell you that they are the devil. And that is no thing. There are 3 social workers that have been on my podcast. One was from Maryland, a clinical psychiatrist, and she had 6 months of training in Maryland. And she talked about how good her program was. And she was appalled how I was saying so bad. But there are good social workers. The second one was a third-party social worker in Indiana, and she was really nice, and she talked again for a good period of time. A third one, just was a couple days ago, was a foster care mom that was interested in adoption, but she liked to relate things and so forth. So the person that is a piece, if you could get back to me with your name and where your location is, I can help you a lot better if I know what city, state, or country you're in. Now, Faye says if you're in Kentucky, please file an ADA complaint with the U.S. Department of Justice. They're actively investigating the state of Kentucky and accuse Kentucky of violating disabled persons' ADA rights. You see, that's one thing we forget about. There are parents that have disabilities. And right now in Kentucky, they're abusing those parents and not helping the kids get back or help with family reunification. So Faye has asked you to file a complaint if you can and help out. That's what she says there. Further, Faye says um, there is a website, https:// psmag.com/social, and that's with a hyphen, justice /parents hyphen with hyphen disability hyphen face hyphen on hyphen uphill, hold on, uphill hyphen battle hyphen to hyphen keep hyphen their hyphen and children /. So that's a link there that's really important that Faith put up for us. Thank you, Faye, for sharing that. Now, Faye says she was never criminally charged or arrested. Well, I was never arrested, but I was criminally charged by the district attorney who the Child Protection Agency was doing a piggyback. It's really weird how it works. Now, a piece, her name is Candace. All right, Candace. I can call you Candace. And she's from Tucson, Arizona. My husband and I are taking classes right now. I guess they're parenting classes, but don't know if the plea deal they're trying to shove things down us will affect anything. Anytime you make a plea deal, there are repercussions. If you're not guilty, don't do a plea deal. Don't do a plea deal. The only time people do plea deals if they're guilty and they want a lesser offense. But right now, if you're not guilty, then don't make a plea deal. Hold your time on that. And eventually you will get out of that, what they're trying to charge you with you. So I don't want that to happen, Candace. And I welcome Candace and her husband from Tucson, Arizona. Don't worry about changing your name, Candace, because I will call you Candace. I will call you. I will call you there. And so there's no problem with that, Candace. That is your name from Tucson, Arizona. And speaking of Arizona, there's my favorite people, the Pink Ladies from Prescott, Arizona, who in 2022 got pink t-shirts. 8 women, white women in Prescott, decided to put stencil on the front. They put professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they put, do you know where your children are? On the front, professional child kidnappers. On the back, do you know where your children are? It was really sad. It was really sad. And they prayed around a Walmart, Costco, Target, Best Buys, and the looks of parents were atrocious. They were caught. They were fired. 25 years of work went down the drain. These people are gone, as well as the director in Prescott, Arizona. That department is called the Department of Children's Services, DCS. And so they're the CPS system in Arizona, the DCS. And so I am glad that you're here, Candace, and I welcome that. Faye says, thank you. We thank you, Faye. You have so much to offer this room. She helps a lot of parents now. She does. She calls and she goes out on limb to help out people. She cares about how the CPS has done. And I do too. I care all the time. I care all the time. Okay. I'm in luck. The meeting that I'm missing out to help you guys is being recorded. So that is really, really, really good. Now, um, I am I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. Let's see here. We got some more meeting rooms coming in. There's a lot of trafficking here with group meetings. Tonight is a special meeting at 7 p.m. tonight. There will be a live Zoom meeting with the California renowned CPS attorney, Vincent W. Davis, with over 30 years of experience defending parents against CPS. Now, he's invited me to be on his show for questions and answers. So, if you are a member of the school member, it's free. If not, it's $27 for the hour. But a lot of things will be said there. A lot of things will be said there. So it's really, really important there that you all there. Now, Faye and Candace are the two people in this room that's been talking. If anybody else would like to say things or ask questions, I've already talked about rule number 1, and that is to get an attorney. And I mentioned to you that a court-appointed attorney will not have any time for you. He will not fight for you. He will not defend your case. He'll try to settle for something less. He works for the child protection system, just like the judges, just like all the attorneys. It's really sad, but you're not going to get a fair trial with a court-appointed attorney. That's why you need an attorney. And please call in Mr. Davis and get that consultation, 30 minutes for $60. That is what you really should strive for. Now, I gave the example of very bad social workers that think that they're professional child kidnappers. Another case of social workers was this social worker who chose to put on her Facebook page today, Chicago, Illinois. She put on there the ad from 1848, not changed or anything, and it said the N word, which we can't use, but it meant black children for sale. It was an 1848 ad, 10 years before the Civil War, 140 years. And she put it there. And Faye did contact her, and she got some explanation that she says that black children are still being exploited and stolen. That's what she was trying to do. But it sent out the wrong message to me. She's a black woman. I don't know why she would put an ad of black children for sale. But I understand, Faye, and believe me, if I could pay for it, I would pay for it too. I know where you come from, Faye. Faye would love to go to that question and answer session. So I've talked about a second social worker. A third social worker was from a woman named Christine Salazar, and she's a loving mother with 2 children, a boy and a girl. And her son was accused of molesting her daughter. And so they sent out investigation. And I forgot what state they are. I think they're from Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. They sent out a investigator to the school where her daughter was taken. She's in middle school. She's only 13 years old. But no one knew what this investigator was about. He asked the school, "Can I meet with one of your students privately in one of the classrooms?" When he met with the 13-year-old, he asked her, didn't know, he's 60 years old. He asked her, "Can you please remove your clothes?" And he proceeded to take pictures of her nude body. Now, he is a pedophile. That has been found out. He is a pedophile. And the mother, when the daughter came, she was terrified. She was mortified to have an old man take naked pictures of her. And it's sexual exploitation. You don't know if this old man's going to sell those pictures or her naked pictures are on the internet. They weren't in sexual positions, but a 13-year-old naked in front of an old man is not appropriate. And so the mother called the CPS and they had him fired. But unbeknownst to them all, he had a friend that worked in the CPS that was a school friend. And so he retaliated. And now the story's been changed, and now the mother's been accused of molesting the son. Meanwhile, the son is in jail, hasn't seen anybody for a month or two, and he has criminal charges against him that could send him away to prison to be a sex offender registered. It's a big mess. It's a big, big mess. And so they did that. So anyway, so he was charged as a pedophile. I don't know, Faye. I don't know if he was charged as a pedophile. I think any man that takes naked pictures of young girls, now, even though he's told to do his job also said he need to have a second person with him, because this girl could have said anything. He could have said that he penetrated her or he touched her, things like that. The whole thing is making me sick. And now the mother can't get the police to prosecute this pedophile. And so she's having a terrible time trying to do that. I said for her to contact the FBI, and hopefully the FBI can help out and investigate this. If they get his computer or the camera, see what he has on his phone. I mean, I imagine he was taking a camera that's going to have to develop pictures. I think that's how it goes. I'm not familiar with that because I've never been involved in investigating and taking pictures of minors. So, so Faye was saying that. Now, we're about halfway through the podcast, and I'd love some questions. Faye is really nice to interact, and we did hear from Candace. But any of you other people out there, I would love to hear from you all about any questions I could help out with there. Faye did say, yes, but you can't say on air it's slander. Okay. All right. I guess you can't say allege. Anyway, I don't know if he has been charged or not. The mother wants to press charges, but I stand corrected. I stand corrected. I'm sorry, Faye. I really am sorry. Anyway, that's why I have a co-host here. She's so good, and she thinks about things like that. So I'm just angry that a male took pictures of a nude female. Okay? And so that's all I'm going to say further on that. But there was a case of another social worker, inappropriate things. Then there was my social worker. She was very young, in her 20s. She didn't care about us as a family or family unification. She just ended up, she was on the stand. My attorney, Vincent Davis, I hired Vincent Davis, was questioning her about domestic violence with my wife's sister and husband who wanted to adopt our daughter. And what happened was Mr. Davis asked her, has there been any domestic violence going on? And she said, the social worker said, oh, no, that's a wonderful mother and a father, make a good mother and father for the daughter. Well, then Vincent pulled out his folder, his briefcase, and had an inch thick of police reports and started reading them. All these police reports of strong domestic violence, where physical abuse was between the couple. And that was the environment we're going to put our daughter in. We didn't want our daughter to go there. That was the same in-laws that were making false allegations against us for 5 years. So it was a case example where the social worker said, I'm going to retaliate because you made me look bad on the stand. She perjured herself. She's open for a lawsuit. I can't afford it because I need $50,000 to do a retainer to sue her for $10 to $20 million because she did was wrong. So she told her daughter, who was 12 at the time, you are going to divorce your parents. You're going to emancipate from your parents and your brothers. She has 2 brothers, and her grandparents and her aunts and uncles and cousins. Furthermore, you're going to change your name, which she did, and she sealed her birth certificate that were no longer the parents, and she got adopted by the foster care, took their name, and completely put it all in there. It was sad. The whole situation sad. She's 22 now. She still hasn't come home to her mother and father. Our sons still see her. I encourage her sons to see her. But right now, she's so brainwashed to think we're awful parents. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. Um, so that is a fourth example of a corrupt social workers. Being with them, and that's why I say you need an attorney, is that it's like open heart surgery. If you're in open heart surgery, you need a professional attorney to help you. You need a professional attorney to help you and see you through the case. Um, it's really sad what has happened. It really is sad. So um, I want you all to know there is hope, and with the attorney, you can get hope with the attorney. The court appointed, there's no hope. If you try pro bono, they're going to you maybe get one, maybe not. You don't know. Also, a lot of you have gotten attorneys, but you got the wrong kind of attorneys. You need to get attorney that is in dependency law, that is juvenile and family law. That is Vincent Davis. So you can call him 888-888-6582. And that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Okay, we have KK from New York. Hi, KK. KK is from New York. She was on last night. I saw her in the background. She comes on from time to time. She's made herself an attorney, but she has hired an attorney, and she has a case. Did you want to call in, KK, or what would you like to do? I have about 15 more minutes left of the podcast. I have to go to another podcast right away. Okay, KK is going to call in and talk to us. That sounds great. That sounds great. KK, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Yes. Look, I got my stuff in the background.
Okay, we need to tone me down so I don't get the echoing.
I'm toning down now.
So what's the latest, KK?
Well, I've been trying to get information regarding where my children will be attending school this year, and I was told that, they sent me all that stuff in an email, a week ago. So I have not received those things, and then they're being very, very, very dismissive and things like that. So I did finally get the delivered service log and found so many inconsistencies regarding fact finding. It is unbelievable.
Wow, like what? Can you share us with what you found?
Such as CPS and the foster care agency being aware that there was an order of protection in criminal court in our county for the father who was gaining access, actively evading the law, and they admitted to that on various occasions in those connection notes.
Wow.
They also showed that the foster parent was in contempt numerous times when she openly admitted to leaving me unsupervised based on my monitored supervising resources were not present at the drop-off location, but you left the children anyway.
I see. Now, are they going to a public school? Is that the school of origin?
To my knowledge, yes, but God works in mysterious ways, because I received an email yesterday from my child's new school, my sixth grader, and it was inviting me to orientation for tomorrow.
Oh, great.
And now the school, I don't know if the foster care agency stepped in or CPS may have let them know that because I don't have any communication with my children, such as visits or phone calls, that I could be combative and they should already, be like 2 steps ahead, basically giving them a bad perception of me to minimize the rights that are intact right now.
So, are you able to see your children at all?
No, Mr. Faith, honestly, the last time I physically saw my children in the real was the last visit, which was April 23rd. And it was a very productive visit. We had a good time. And, the following Friday after that visit, everything just went to hell. Like, that Friday, I inquired about information I got about my child maybe not being well. I, inquired about the information, and because my child is very defiant and combative and did not challenge me, and the foster parent made the statement of not having a vehicle to take my child to get, emergency care, she negated the fact that I reached out to the supervisor of the foster care agency, and that prompted OCFS investigation through 311. I had nothing to do with that, but they went out on their own.
Wow.
Oh, and the foster care agency also altered medical documents from urgent care that I was supposed to be given as far as updates and correspondence.
Okay.
I went as a legal parent with authorization. I went to that urgent care where my children were seen and got the actual paperwork to show that basically evidence tampering was going on. They altered federal documents that provide pertinent information.
You want to save that because you can prosecute them because that's wrong what they're doing.
Absolutely. Based on medical ethics neglect and based on custodial interference and medical infringement. Absolutely, in the state of New York.
Well, it seems like New York's in the news a lot lately. They like to persecute that other guy all the time, and now they're trying to chase him again. It's ridiculous how corrupt New York is and how New York's so interested in everybody in the country, I guess. I don't know.
Well, we just lost a father suicide here that was fighting CPS for 5 years, and his life was fixed for a little while, and he was trying to, work. I think it was 2 jobs or work, a job and do a side gig or something like that. Had his, sister caring for the children. She was a teenager, 17, but she was, responsible. And because the mother was asleep and the child opened the window and opened the window, and in the process of opening the window, may have knocked some type of cleaning chemical or something over, and the mother was penalized for that. They arrested her in her hospital bed in that home.
Yeah, because they're getting her for neglect because she didn't show precautions with a chemical around. How old is the daughter?
The one that was doing the babysitting, she was 17, but
No, I meant the child.
The cleaning product, I think, was 7 or 8.
Well, that's not that young, and they're pretty sensible. I'm so sorry that happened. So they arrested the mother in the hospital. Do you remember what the charges were?
They were maltreatment, child endangerment, medical neglect, and something else having to do with not providing adequate guardianship.
Okay.
So they basically just removed all 3 of the children, because there were 3 children there. that ranged in various ages. They were actually older than the child that ingested the cleaning chemical. And even they didn't even get any like when they did, I guess, the forensic interview with the children, they did not even question them about things that happened on that day. They went all the way back and disregarded what brought the case, into that stature altogether.
Wow.
And the mother didn't even have a history, Mr. Pace. She didn't have a history. She was a good mom. She just fell ill, and now the husband has to, work double time to try to provide.
But you said the husband took his own life?
Yeah, based on them taking the children. And
how long ago was that? How long ago was that?
This was 2 years ago, but what I'm saying, the case started 2 years ago, but the gentleman killed himself last week in the Bronx.
Last week. That is so terrible. I know how hard it gets for people.
The house and everything, Mr. Bates, was his home. He was still working, but living in the shelter. His wife is in the hospital. The children are removed, not even with family members, not even with people that actually speak the same language. So it's like, it's a barrier all the way around. Their paperwork, with immigration is not all the way 100%, but it's, basically stable to the point where they can get like a stay based on this happening in America without any, familiar ties that are coming to the children's rescue. So they're trying to rush adoption, which is not fair.
Yeah. Wow.
They're trying to terminate my rights as well, based on the FAFSA timeline. So we go back to court September 17th for the rest of fact finding, and I was informed that a possibility from my attorney that they would put in a motion for TPR based and have the cases going simultaneously.
Yeah, I got a new person in the room, never been on before, called Myra Walker. I assume you're from New York. She says, can I call even though I'm in New York? And right now I have KK on the phone and my time's running short, Mariah Walker. So can you call tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time? And you could be the first one on the show tomorrow, Myra, and we can talk about your case. I don't know what part of New York you're from, but NYS, that is what, New York City?
New York State? Is she NYS? New York State? Are you upstate?
I don't know. I don't know if she can hear you or me. I guess she should. But Mariah Walker, I welcome you. You're calling in at 5 minutes to the hour. I got a podcast that I'm going to, not a Zoom meeting I'm going to shortly. So you need
Bob, not to cut you off, I did reach out to Ms. Grace. I would love to be a co-host whenever day that she
okay.
Me. So
she's in Western New York. She's a place where called Erie County.
Oh, she's upstate by the Catskills.
Okay, welcome, Mara. You'll have to call in tomorrow then, okay? You have to call in tomorrow.
But thank you, as always.
Well, I wanted now to get ready to close my show here. I want to thank Mariah Walker from New York, who called in, and she can call in tomorrow. KK, who's from New York, and you're from the Bronx, right?
No, I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. I always get that wrong. I'm sorry, KK. She's from Brooklyn, New York. And then there's Faye from Richmond, Kentucky. And thank you, Faye, for all the input you gave tonight and keeping me straight. Yeah, Faye is so good about things and keeping straight and so forth. And I can become very emotional at times. We had Candace from, she had Candace, her and her husband from Arizona. They're from Tucson, Arizona. And they're trying to decide on a plea deal. And I told, do not settle plea deals. They don't work out. If you're not guilty, don't settle on a plea deal. You won't get your child. So thank you, Candace, for calling in. And let me see, is there anybody else? Because I have to go to a live Zoom meeting with questions.
Quick question. What happened to Miss Danielle? She's not coming back?
She came back one time in the last month or two, but for whatever reason, she isn't coming back anytime soon, I guess. I don't know. I miss her terribly. We had a co-host named Danielle from Georgia. So she was really great. Faye has been my co-host, but not on the camera. She's been
in the background.
she's been the background, but she's been a workhorse. I appreciate that. I want to thank everybody listening, and I hope you do not give up. Keep fighting for your kids. And KK, thank you for calling back in. And with this saying, I am going to sign off. This is Bob Pace saying good night. Keep fighting for your kids, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.